Now that all of the shelves have been removed from the closet, it's time to rebuild this space. I plan to use as much of the existing material as possible and reconfigure it into a new and better layout. So let's get started on this budget-friendly renovation. I've never removed wood flooring before, and I'm trying to salvage as many of these boards as possible. All of the videos that I've watched about removing wood floor basically told me that the first few rows would be waste, so I took this time to really learn and get familiar with removing the nails, trying not to damage the tongue and groove, etc. I also didn't expect the tongue and groove to be so small. It makes sense that they're that thin, but it was a little bit of a shock to me. Once I got into the groove of things, pun intended, it got a little easier to remove the floorboards, and I was able to save several pieces that I will use throughout the house to replace broken boards. Most every room in this house has hardwoods, and this room did not, so I am removing what I can from the closet to just repair any of the broken boards throughout the house. Because this room only had this section of hardwood floors, I will be installing a vinyl flooring in the room and the closet.
Do I have what it takes to make you fall in love with me? Am I the real deal or just another one of those who fake it? Maybe I don't really know you. Maybe I don't really know myself. Let me rest in your arms until the morning comes and fades away our fears. I want to grow up with you. Cliche to say, but it's true. Tell me you see.
I designed this space to use the existing shelves, so labeling was key. I needed to make sure that I worked smart so that all of these pieces of particle board made sense in the space. And these will be left top, right top. Then I'll have an extra board. Before I get started with any cuts, I do want to address the fact that my current outfeed table for my table saw is this very low dining table. It is literally the only thing I have right now, so that is why it is like this. So it was either this or have things fall to the ground. Doing the best I can with what I've got. Just wanted to address this before anybody says anything about it. I know it's not ideal, but I don't have time or material to build a proper outfeed right now, so this is what I'm rolling with. Thanks. I'm going to cut this into 3-inch strips, so that way become my support for all of the shelves that are in the middle section, as well as hold the sides of the shelf. This is going to be directly screwed into the wall to help stabilize everything and make sure that everything stays in place in that middle section. So this is strictly for support. I have 3-inch strips here. This one's going to be on the top. This is going to support the middle section. And I think that this is actually just going to be an extra. I thought I only needed 2, but we'll see if I need a support at the bottom. And then I do have this scrap piece, which is going to be perfect because I'll align them on the side so that it supports the middle shelf and the sides. I'm seconds editing me here, you'll notice that in the beginning sections of this video, I'm speaking with a mask on, and that is because I did not have the results back from my asbestos test yet. Thankfully, the results came back negative, so I will add captions as needed throughout the video.
I would really love to build this out here, not in there. I don't think I'm going to have a choice though. These are cut to size. I don't think that it's promising. That's not going to work. Oh, I gotta build it. No. Shoot. Sucks. Oh, let's do it.
I added some pocket holes to both sides of the support pieces, and here you see me using wood glue and pocket holes to add the supports to the top left divider wall. The idea was to build the divider unit and then mount it to the wall with wood screws, but I very quickly learned that I was trying to make particle board something that it's not, which is plywood or just a board of wood. For this middle shelf support, I measured where I wanted the shelf to sit minus a ½ inch to adjust for the thickness of the shelf. The first support was secured pretty well, but the second support is where I ran into all of my issues. My pocket holes broke the particle board. It was just a hot mess. So I had to do this a couple of times and ultimately decided that the way that I was working was not working for me. Also important to note is that I typically use either a clamp or a dumbbell for another set of hands, and that is what you see me doing here.
This truly is just one of those days that I wish I had a second pair of hands. I don't know how this is going to go. Particle board is a lot more flimsy than I ever thought it was, and I'm running into some issues. I'm going to lay this flat. I'm going to get a box to help support the weight of this thing, and then I'm going to put it down.
Having to build in the closet has been the most unpleasant experience. So let me catch you up on what I've done. I needed Jared's help to hold this in place because a lot of this was just too flimsy for me and quite heavy. It's also 7 feet tall, so I'm not that tall. I had Jared hold this in place, and I've used the laser level to make sure that everything was good. I tried to use a drywall screw initially, but I did find some studs that I was able to drill into. So I decided to use wood screws instead. So as you can see, I have a few wood screws on the first board, just so that I get everything in place. And then what I did for the second one, which will be the middle support for the middle shelf, is I installed the board to the wall first, using the studs that were in the wall. And then after the board was level and in place, I went in and secured it with some wood glue and a pocket hole screw to the big board over here. Now that all of this is in place, what I'm going to do is take this other side, hold it against my supports, and just screw and wood glue into those. Well, then I cut 2 pieces of the third and extra board down to roughly 9 inches. So that way I can just build an additional support here for my shelf that's going to go in the middle for the middle section. And I'm just going to use some small wood screws to secure these. Time to do a dry fit on the center shelf. That is going to work beautifully. It's coming to life. Now that this middle section is built, what I'm going to do is caulk all the seams, and then I'm going to move on to patching all the holes in the wall. Once everything's dry, I'll go in, prime, paint, and this will be done. As I've mentioned, I am trying to spend as little money as possible on this closet with the exclusion of the flooring. And so far, I've had to spend $10 on caulk and another putty knife. So I'm kind of annoyed because my other thing of caulk was just so dried out at the top that I couldn't get it out. $10 is where I'm at currently. And I'm gonna say that I'm gonna try not to spend over 40. And I think it can be done. Let me know in the comments right now if you think that I can do this entire back piece and the little storage section here for under $40. We'll see how it goes.
1, 2, 3, 4. I am not a raincoat here to keep you warm. Then go back in the closet after the storm. I'm not a match simply waiting to burn. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end.
I hate caulking, but watching a seam disappear is magical.
I'm not your impression of a city wish you loved more than everything you gave for it. And I'm not here to criticize the risk. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end.
Owner was also a DIYer of sorts, and I'm very familiar with his handiwork. All of these walls used to be plaster, and any of the plaster walls that he removed, what he did was he put insulation and then one layer of 1/4 drywall and then a layer of 1/4 drywall over that. So what we're seeing here is this exterior drywall that he used obviously was ripped off whenever one of the supports from the previous shelves were in place. So what I'm going to do is patch this with one of the 1/4 pieces that was left over. This wall over here, this is the back wall of the closet whenever you come into the door and you turn left. So the leftmost wall. This is all plaster still, and you can kind of see, so like the places that there are cracks, that plaster is pulling away from the lath. And then any places that there are bubbles, most of it's very soft, which also means that it's pulling away from the lath. From the research that I've done, you can fix this. There are plaster kits that you can buy to just patch the plaster. What I'm going to do is just replace some of this with drywall that I have, because I do have a few leftover sheets of 1/4 drywall. So what I'm going to do is pull out any plaster here, drywall, patch where I can, mud over it, and call it done. I want it to be functional for the next few years, with the knowledge that in the next few years this is all going to be redone again, but we need a space. That is all just for this closet. The goal for the whole house is to keep the plaster intact where I can. This closet in particular is just really in not the best shape. I think that a majority of the house is okay to either patch or repair, gently repair the plaster. I understand that that is a skill. It's a skill that I don't have, but I will be learning because I want to learn it. I have an old house. I want to learn how to do plaster. But for the closet, just drywall. I'm going to make some clean cuts on this drywall, and then I'm just going to make a patch for this section right here, and then mud over all of it for my patch. I've never really patched drywall before. This is my first time. If that's obvious, I'm aware. But you know, I think that once it's mudded, it'll be beautiful. And it's a closet, so this is the best place to practice. All right, I'm a little out of practice on all of this, but here we go. I have done drywall 3 times prior to this. I renovated the bathroom at the old house, had to redo a ceiling at the old house, and then I did the drywall for the dining room here because it was needed for us to close on that. So I've hung full sheets of drywall before, and I was getting pretty good at it, but now I'm a little rusty, which is fine, you know? Sometimes if you don't practice skills, whoop, a little angle. A little angle again. I feel like everyone should try a skill that they are intimidated by at least once. Just don't burn your house down. Also, don't flood your house. A little corner piece is sticking out here. Not bad. I'll do a second coat once this is dry. Sand it down, and I think it'll be good. But for now, I'm going to go through and just patch any holes with some joint compound. I'm actually super impressed with how well this dried. I'm just gonna do a light sanding, a little second coat, and then it'll be ready to prime.
Here's a great example of plaster pulling away from lath. I just pushed this and you can see the crack here, but basically just a little push and it breaks inward. That's kind of cool. Bucket. I will need to get some more joint compound. For now, so far, I've only spent $10 in the closet. This bucket's empty. Time to go get some more. And I'm gonna let this dry. And tomorrow I will prime everything. I was going through my paints to see what I had, and I have about a half a gallon of the Sherwin-Williams Natural Linen. This is the color that we used in the kitchen. I really like this color, so I think I'm going to do that for the bottom section of the walls. And because I can,
And because this is a closet and I can like experiment and have fun in here, above the shelves, I'm going to do a green that I have. This is a green that I used in the other house, and it's just something that I have a ton of paint left over. So I'm going to use that for the top section, which I'm very excited about. I really am looking forward to seeing how this plays together. And if I hate it, then I can always close the door whenever I make a door or find a door for the closet, or I can just repaint it. On the wall, I think what I'm going to do is actually just install the shelf, or at the very least dry fit right now, so that way I don't go below the shelf with my paint. Okay. Looks so good. This will do nicely. I'm really hoping all of my cuts are right, because going up and down those stairs to make cuts sucks. It really sucks. Snug fit. I think it'll work. Come on. Oh, it's because this is too tall. Oh, I need to knock that down a little bit. So, okay, this cut's fine. I just need to trim this middle section. Excuse me, pardon me. Basement looking at my stash of woods that I have. This is a poplar. This is what I made our old dining table out of, and I just had, I want to say like 3 boards left, and I have them cut down because I was going to make them work for another project. But I think what I'm going to do is take these and trim out the closet instead, because I don't think I'm ever going to use poplar as a backer, and I've already got them cut down to size. So I think that this is what I'm going to use to trim the closet out. Each poplar board is 1.5 inches thick and 8 feet long, so I definitely think I can make this work. All right, while I'm waiting for the paint to finish drying, I'm going to go ahead and measure everything for my trim. .125 3/8. 31. So what I'm going to do is cut the top piece first, That's gonna be my longest cut. I'm gonna have to put 2 pieces together because I don't have a piece of wood that long. So 1 up there, and then from there I will just make sure that all of my other measurements are correct moving forward. But I should have enough wood to complete this. Look! Wow! Yeah. That'll do nicely. Ah. Love it. The existing holders that were in the previous closet layout, and I cut down the rods to size for the new closet. There's still a lot of finishing work to do in the closet, but I'm super proud of the work that I've done so far. Here's the before and after. That looks wrong. I don't know. I think I spelled measurement wrong.